What is up, fam? Welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. I'm your host, James Lariello, joined today for another pre-Broken Arrow Skyrace interview. This one's going to be for the VK and the 23K. I'm joined today by one of the most talented young women to enter our sport possibly ever. Super excited for this one. Trail Team Elite Selection for 2025, Miss Oakley Olson. You guys might be familiar with that name. Oakley was the 2024 Collegiate National Champion, as well as a top 10 finisher at the 2024 Cirque Series snowbird race that was the U.S. Mountain Running Championship in 2024. Super excited. I caught up with Oakley actually while she was out at Grand Lake in Colorado with the trail team. They were having one of their many camps that they'll have this year for team building and training. So it was just really special to get to talk to her about, kind of how that camp was going and just like, the stoke and enthusiasm level out there, which I know was extremely high. This is an exciting race for Oakley. Oakley is, like I said, kind of very new to the scene, as well as already had some, pretty crazy success at the high level. Oakley is a steepler. And actually the reason she was not at Sunapee was because she had qualified for NCAAs. So competing at the very highest level at the collegiate side. So it's going to be really fun to see how this race shakes out with Oakley as she's coming in with a ton of fitness. So it's going to be very fun to follow along. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Wishing Oakley the very best of luck on her race. So without further ado, Miss Oakley Olson. Oakley Olson, welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing good. Excited to catch up and chat. I know it's been kind of a wild last few weeks for you and only getting crazier now. It seems like you got a cool background out there. You're out at the trail team camp, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe catch me up on what's been going on the last few weeks. I know you qualified for I don't know how the whole system works, so maybe I'll let you tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so probably 5 weeks ago, I had my team conference championships at the WAC, so the WAC championships at University of Texas Arlington, and it was pretty historic for my university because we took home the men's and women's titles together for the first time in school history, so that was really awesome. And then I had the opportunity to go to NCAA West regionals for the steeplechase, so I had to qualify and be top 48. The top 48 athletes in every event per gender get to go to that race. So I got to race at College A&M or College Station, Texas A&M. But it was amazing. It was really hot, really humid, as everybody always warns you about, but it was such a cool atmosphere. And then now I traveled to Grand Lake, and this is where we have our trail team camp this week. And then I'm getting ready for Broken Arrow here coming up soon.
Super exciting. Well, a lot of part of the conversation is like a Broken Arrow preview episode, if you will, for the women and men contenders. So this is like one of those ones where we do pre-race interviews. So maybe before we get going, I know you just got to the trail team camp, but maybe talk about like what they're going to be doing this week. I know there's team photos, you're running around. It's team building. It's like all kinds of fun stuff. But maybe talk about like what Andy, the mad scientist, has planned for you guys this week.
Yeah, Andy is really the mastermind behind it all. This is such a special week. I look forward to it every year. I mean, last year's my first year, so I guess I looked forward to this week all year. But it's just a really unique opportunity for a bunch of athletes that are looking to break into that professional scene to come together, support each other through networking, through advice. Like, I had no idea what Broken Arrow was last year when I came here. I had no idea about the U.S. Championship Snowbird. I had no idea about what a running vest was or what trail running shoes were. I don't know if you ever heard, but I showed up last year in New Balance 1080s that probably had 500 miles on them. And then we ran up Mount Ida, and it was the ugliest thing that anybody has ever seen. I got some good pictures out of it from our photographers because my legs were all bloody from just not being able to run up the mountain. But I feel like this whole experience is what gave me the confidence and resources going into the US Championships to be able to place top 8 in the women's overall race. So what Andy's doing here really is the foundation to trail running. It's super exciting. It's new, and it's going to show in about, this year at the World Championship for Team USA, and then also in years to come, how much stronger we're going to show up as a country because of the support he's creating at such a young level.
I love it, man. I'm so excited. I mean, obviously you weren't able to compete this year at Sunapee, but you are going to be a perennial contender for years to come on Team USA, which I'm so excited for where your career is going to take you. First up, we got Broken Arrow. It's going to be wild. It's going to be bananas. Everybody's going to be there. It's a serious race. Obviously I should have checked before we even started this interview. It's been a wild day. You're on the start list for the Ascent, right? And then the
Mm-hmm.
23K or just the Ascent?
Yep.
23K
Yep.
and the Ascent. I thought I got it right. Okay. Yeah, what's the stoke level for that? The Ascent's going to be like probably the most competitive race ever assembled on American soil when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the expectation? I know you've been on the track for a while now, and you're kind of, you tell me, have you been able to get on the trails at all, or has it been all track work? So the fitness, I would imagine, is probably crazy high.
Yeah, last year going into US Champs, I really didn't have a strategy. It wasn't quite an ascent, but it was a pretty technical trail race. I kind of just used my steeplechase training going into it and a couple trail runs. So that's been the approach so far. I'm really thankful for this camp and the timing of it because we're going to do some practice trail runs that are going to kind of like simulate what the VK is going to be like and what the 23K is going to be like. So I'm going to get a good, I guess, grip at what it will be like at Broken Arrow. But it is definitely going to be the most competitive race. I saw Ali Ostrander posted about it, and then you just interviewed Andy Cornish. I love her so much.
Yeah, she's
And
amazing.
so just like so many women that are so talented to all show up together, I'm so stoked. It's going to be so great.
That's going to be fun. And I think it's like, for you guys too, from a team perspective, it's good team building because I'm sure everybody will be out there and you'll get to kind of get an idea and like see who's who. And that's how I think it's just a good experience all around for you. And it's going to be fun. How do you place expectations on a race like this? I know you're obviously, a D1 super competitive athlete, like, and you've had a lot of success. I mean, you've already gotten top 10 at the US mountain running champs and you are the reigning, well, technically just removed reigning collegiate. I don't know who the new collegiate national title holder is, but you are the last one. So how does that work for you? Like, what's the expectation you put on a race like this?
That's a great question. Last year, I didn't have any expectations, so I think I exceeded all of my expectations, which was pretty exciting. But this year, especially with the Ascent being a Team USA qualifier, it's been my goal since 2020 to make it back on Team USA because I got to run on the U20 junior team, and that kind of sparked this whole journey of me going into trail running. So my A goal, I would say, is definitely to just make Team USA again. And then the other expectations going into it is to hang with those pro athletes. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm coming from the NCAA, which, at this point, half the girls in the NCAA are running pro times. It's pretty impressive. But I definitely
Crazy.
have a lot of respect for all the women showing up that have been doing this and have been going to Broken Arrow for years, have been on Team USA, have been to World Championships, have been doing the Golden Trail World Series. So I'm excited just to race alongside them too, as well.
What's especially for, I'd say like maybe let's talk about the Ascent more than the 23K because I think I'm probably the most curious about that because it is technically the bigger race, even though 23K is the Golden Trail. It's like hard to say what's even the bigger race at this point. But what is so this race starts out stupid fast. People go out like it's dumb how fast people go out. And it's like straight up a hill and it's like a kind of a treacherous ski hill, if you will. It's like 35, maybe more percent grade. There's like plants in the middle of the thing. It's so weird. And then it kind of like funnels out. Like what is I guess like what would how are you going to race this thing? Like, are you going to start out conservative or go like or just go just straight out the gate like crazy? Like what's your expectation for that?
Such a good question. I last year noticed it was kind of a similar thing at Snowbird. The race went out really fast the first mile. I I told myself not even to look at my watch because I was like, I don't want to see the number. I was like, I don't even want to see it because we haven't even started climbing yet. And I think the strategy for me last year at Snowbird is so many people went out so hard. And in the NCAA, I've raced at the National Cross Country Championship meet. I know what that's like to get swallowed up in a pack and to like see the leaders go out. And for me, I felt like I worked the best, like once we got to that middle ground, once the lactic acid started hitting people, because I hadn't gone out quite as hard, that's when like my mental toughness came in and my physical toughness was able to match it. So I think I'm going to try and do a similar approach this year. Like I'm going to be in that top third of the race pack, but I'm not going to lead it. Like that's not going to be my position this year. But kind of similar to, what I've been doing in the NCAA, where I'd rather be the hunter than the hunted. So maybe being a little bit more conservative that first third and then going at it from there.
I think it's really, honestly, I think that's the smartest way to race a VK. I mean, that's what kind of like I've seen from like Mika and even Taylor Stack and I were just talking about this, like where I mean, people just go out so fast, everybody blows up, and a lot of them come back to you. So once it seems like it starts to funnel out, and it's more, I think it comes off the ski road and like then ours off the like the ski hill and more on like
Yeah.
a road section. I feel like once that funnels out, you can actually like start hunting people if you're not like completely gassed or blown up at that point. So I think it's a smart way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah, there's always strategies to like racing some of these VK courses. It's so weird. And then there's like a downhill section too, which is weird. So
Yeah.
like it kind of goes down. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Like you absolutely belong. You've raced some of the best women the United States has to offer last year. Like, are you intimidated at all with some of these ladies? Or you're like, no, I'm going for a spot. Like how does that kind of work with you? Because like Anna Gibson's the US mountain running champion now. Like
Yeah.
her and Allie, and like I know Lauren's not going to be there, but like her and Allie seem, I don't want to say unbeatable at this point, but like I would be intimidated to race them. Like how does that feel, how does that feel for you?
Yeah, as a new athlete in the sport, I feel like there's definitely still like a little bit of imposter syndrome when you're on the starting line. But thankfully, I've had so many mentors through the trail team. Like I talked about Andy Cornish, Rachel, I'm gonna butcher her last name, Tomajak. I can't say it right.
To my check. Yeah, I couldn't say it
Tomajak.
right either. I
Tomajak.
couldn't spell
Yes.
it. Don't ask me to spell it.
And then even Grayson Murphy, like some of the biggest women in this sport have just taken me under their wing, given me advice over the years. And so I feel a little bit more confident going into this now, but it's honestly just because of how supportive and how amazing they are, because I would be terrified. I would be absolutely terrified looking at their resumes, lining up against them. But I'm just excited now. I'm going to definitely be going for a spot. I've worked really hard in college for 4 years, and it's been on my mind every single practice. So it's really exciting, especially coming off of steeplechase, which I feel like in the NCAA, it's crazy hard. We're running 70s over 5 hurdles a lap, and then girls are falling, and it's everywhere. And it's just like a trail race. So I feel like it's been like the perfect preparation. I've had to go against some pretty amazing athletes. I had to race Lexi Holiday at the NCAA West race, and she's a phenomenal track athlete. So it's going to be what it is. I feel like once you're on the starting line, we're all equal, and it's a race to the top.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask you this. What happens if you have the day that you're looking for? Like if you make Team USA, like what would that mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Such a great question. My mom and my younger brother are actually going to be at the aid station on the top. They're volunteering, and so they decided to volunteer at the top. And throughout high school, college, and now post college, looking at this trail running career, I've always been running for my two younger brothers. My motto is kind of like run for those who can't, because my two younger brothers have Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is a rare muscle disorder where they don't have this protein called dystrophin. So usually their life expectancy for young boys are like their early 20s, and sometimes
Oh my gosh.
that means boys are in a wheelchair by the age of 12. And so, sorry, I might get choked up talking about
No,
this,
no,
but
no.
yeah, I've always run with like a lime green ribbon on my shoes for them. And snowbird went as well as it did, because when it got so hard, the only thing that got me through was thinking about like my two younger brothers and how that's how they feel every day walking up a staircase. So like, why can't I run one more mile? Why can't I push a little bit harder? Like I get to do this. They don't get the choice. Like they have to endure that every day. And so for me, if I have the day that I'm hoping for and I do qualify for Team USA, I'm just gonna run up to them and probably cry and just see my younger brother Cooper and my mom, who have been like my biggest supporters through this all, and just thank them, because I wouldn't be here without them.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful. You choked me up. Oh man, I it's going to be interesting, right? Like I don't know like how the field's going to shake out and but I think either way it's going to be super fun race, super fun to follow along. And Broken Arrow, how are you going to like, are you saving it for the 23K, or are you going to go, obviously going to go all out for the VK? What's your strategy on that? Is it like let me crush myself on the VK and then crush myself at the 23K on Sunday, or how are you going to kind of like do those back-to-back races?
I had the perfect preparation at our WAC conference. My coach put me in the 15, 5K, and steeple in 3 days. So I had prelim and finals for the 15, and then I had a 5K and a steeplechase. And so I feel like I'm just ready to crush it. Like I've been told I'm too intense my entire life, and this is when it's gonna pay off.
I love it. I love it. What's the have you like figured out the just nutrition thing for the 23K? Because it seems like people have epic blowups in that race. You got the gel situation figured out? And
You know,
I don't know either.
I'm definitely gonna have to talk to Andy about that at camp because I sorry, I don't know, my phone just wigged out for a second. I got the Mount Timpanogos FKT last summer for just like for fun because I was living in Provo and I wanted to do it. And I honestly didn't have the nutrition down yet. I put like Gator Light in my vest. So I drank that. And then I had like 2 Rice Krispie treats. And I feel like it did pretty good. I ran 16 miles and it was like under 3 hours. So I'm like, it's looking like it's a similar type of run to the 23K. But I'm gonna definitely ask him because I know that there's probably a better strategy than Rice Krispie treats and Gatorade, but like it's worked in the past. So
Well, hey, you know what? You don't know what you don't know. So listen, Rice Krispie treats all the way, man. Go for
yeah,
it.
will they sponsor me for this?
Yeah, let's get the. Listen, I think one of these, like honestly, I think in a few years you might be one of the biggest names in the sport. Like that's my prediction. I think we got to start getting the Rice Krispie train rolling here. Like, there we go.
That'd be great. Yeah,
that'd be a
those
sweet
and
sponsorship.
Nerd gummy clusters. I feel like we always use them at this camp. I think Andy Cornish actually taught me about those.
She's funny. I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed our podcast. Like she's a cool human. Very cool. I'm glad you talked about her, and that's the reason I had her on. So very cool.
He's amazing.
Yeah, she is. She is. All right. So what do you got planned after this for the rest of the summer? Like once Broken Arrow's done, like how you got any other races you're gonna do, or like kind of just keeping it open, or what do you got planned?
Well, hopefully I've got, Worlds in Spain on the calendar after Broken Arrow. And then there's another race in Slovenia. I believe it's something to do with Team USA that Andy Wacker's been talking to us about. So that's definitely on my calendar. And then I kind of have a crazy fun adventure that I'm going on. I'm actually going to be working as a humanitarian worker, a leader for this organization. So I'm going to Uganda for a month.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so a little bit of a crazy adventure in the middle of it, but then yeah, squeezing in as many other races. I'm gonna try and make a Cirque Series race again. I'm not sure which one yet, but I just loved my experience so much last year that I'd be really sad to not do one again this year.
Sweet, sweet. I love it, Oakley. I'm so excited. Listen, I'm wishing you the absolute best of luck. Have fun out there with the trail team and have a blast at Broken Arrow. It's going to be really fun to follow the race and going to be cheering for you the whole way. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day. What's up, guys? It's summer, and you know what that means. You're going to need a new pack, hydration solution, bottle, belt, you name it. Guess what? Ultimate Direction's got you covered. Guys, I don't know if you've been perusing on the Ultimate Direction site lately, but we've got 2 new vests that have just dropped. That's going to be the Ultra Vest 12 liter and the Race Vest 6 liter in 2 beautiful colorways. And you know what? Guess what? We also dropped a quiver. Finally, the quiver is here. The quiver is there. Get it on the website right now. Use code SteepStuffPod for 25% off. All of these things are already extremely affordably priced. I think Ultimate Direction does an amazing job at their pricing to make it affordable for athletes of all economic abilities. And guess what? You're going to get yourself an additional 25% off by using code SteepStuffPod. Like I said, it's summer. It's Broken Arrow week. It's crazy. That's the vibes are high. The stoke is high. You're going to need a new vest. You're going to need a hydration solution. Like I said, go to Ultimate Direction. They've got you covered. 25% off with the code SteepStuffPod, and you are all set out the door. So, guys, enjoy your week. It's Broken Arrow week. Go crazy, go wild. Guess what? Next week is TrailCon, and then we are in Western states. This is the best few weeks of our sport. So, it's wild. Woo!